Welcome to WO50 Women Over 50 in Body Wisdom and Wellness.
Hello, my name is Corrine, and I'm here with my BFF, Eddi. And today our topic is Halloweening through the ages, a very spirited discussion on how Halloween has evolved through the ages, although I don't think we actually did get out, so we're going to do it in the intro. We talked more about how we felt about it and what did we do, costumes that we've had, parties that we've been to, food, kids that, how it's changed from when we were a kid and now the costumes later. So that's sort of what we talked about. But so in the intro, we did want to share the history.
Well,
we
skipped over like the history piece. It's like, why is it even here? Like,
what is it?
What?
Where did it come from?
Where did it come from? Like this 2000? How old is this tradition?
It's 2,000 years old. The Celtic Festival of Samhain, which is 2,000 years ago. That's the original. So their belief was, it was from the end of the fall into the winter, and it was believed that on this night the boundary between the living and the dead was blurred, allowing spirits to return to the earth. So that was the original Celtic belief, and then it went through the Romans and the Christians and the Irish and Scottish, and now modern day. So,
and here we are.
And here we are. We hope you're enjoying your holiday season and listen to this spirited talk.
Yeah, you might make a healthy treat.
Hi, Eddi.
Hello, Kin. How are you today?
I'm good. Happy early Halloween.
Happy early Halloween to you too. That's going to be our what?
It's our topic today. Yes,
it is,
and it's the beginning of the holiday season. Like the holidays, like first there's Halloween, right, and then there's Thanksgiving, and then all of a sudden it's Christmas. Did I miss anything?
No, it's the fall. It's the time the weather changes. It's sweater weather.
It's sweater weather.
Sweater weather. It's sweater weather.
I shared that. If you don't know what we're talking about, you just look up sweater weather and Saturday Night Live, and you'll hear the two girls, Jane, was it Jane? No, I can't remember the two ones that anyway, they're talking about sweater weather, this interview. And I told my sister about it, and she now texts me all the time because she's like you. She's a sweater weather person.
I love sweater weather. I got it on now. Sure. I have a sweater on.
And it's 90 degrees here in Nashville, so I don't have sweater on. It's not sweater weather here yet.
No, but it is the fall, and it is coming upon Halloween.
Ooh. So our title today is Halloweening Through the Ages. And we already sort of discussed a little bit, okay, what are we going to talk about? Because some people love Halloween as their favorite holiday. Like Eddi's daughter is absolutely her favorite holiday. I have many friends that is their favorite holiday. And me, I could not care less about Halloween. I've never liked it. I have childhood drama from Halloween, and Eddi, so anyways, that's what our conversation is about. But we're also going to give maybe some health, like some maybe alternatives like healthy eating and how all the sugar can affect us.
And also a couple of like little recipes, because for me, giving out candy is not my favorite thing to do, especially as a naturopath. And I talk about eating well and eating healthy. And so my grandkids are so excited about sharing their costumes. And that's like, the really fun piece for me is watching the kids getting, excited about who they're going to be, and they're going to be Stitch, or they're going to be a ninja, or they're going to be a witch, or, and I love why they want to be that character, just having that conversation with them.
Yeah.
And also when you take your kids and bring them, or the other kids in the neighborhood, and they go to the seniors' houses and they knock, and, you watch how people love that. Like sometimes it's a beautiful little visit for people, Here I know they go door to door and they give out candy and treats. And I'm sure that happens everywhere. But my grandson said, "Son, Nana, what do you give out then if you don't want to give out candy?" I said, "Well, I do up little snack bags, and I put a bottle of water, like little mini bottle of water in it, a pack of raisins, some veggie sticks, or like if I can find those really good dark chocolate things." He goes, "Why?"
He calls it like he sees it.
Why? He said, "We're going around getting candy." I said, "Yeah, but everybody, I think, is going to be really happy. I'd be happy if that's what somebody handed me. It's better than a plate full of broccoli, isn't it? Like, I
That
don't
is
know.
so funny.
Yeah.
Eddie giving out the
Anyway,
water and some stuff.
yeah,
And I'm sure the kids
raisins.
will be thirsty, but after all that candy,
Yeah,
we used to use when I was young, we used to use pillowcases. Like
we
I
did.
think when I was really little, we had the little orange pumpkin, the little
Yeah.
plastic orange pumpkin. And then we graduated, I remember, to the pillowcases. And it was like who
Hmm.
could fill up the pillowcase the most.
Yes, and the
Right.
teenagers, when you became a teenager, you'd go home and change your outfit and go back out with another pillowcase.
I think my brother did that. I don't think I ever
And
did that.
I think my sister did it too. I might have carried the pillowcase for her. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
So
we'd
what?
all dress up in like ghosts, like old sheets and cut holes in them, you know.
Right.
Remember that? Yeah.
Do you
And
remember any
now
other costumes other than
I
ghosts?
was a ghost. We were cardboard box people. Like I was a box of cereal one time and I used, I think, a fridge box.
That would have been fun. Like, were you with your siblings, like coming up still with
Yeah.
stuff and creating? That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds
That
like a
was,
lot of fun. I
yeah,
love
that
that.
was fun. Yeah. We didn't have any of that, the money to really buy costumes. And,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the fun of it is the making of it, I think. It's
I
definitely
think so.
different how it is now. But I remember the two costumes that I remember, I wanted to be a mummy. Like every year, my mom so was not into Halloween. So therefore, and so it was like the day before, like, what do you want to be? That's why it would end up being a ghost. So I wanted one year to be a mummy and I had it in my head. You just cut the sheets and then you just wrap it well. I mean, I tried it and I don't think it worked out. And that would have been like grade 3 or 4, something like that. So then, and
Wow.
every year was no better after that. It was always something not like maybe a mask last minute or something in a black, like just
Yeah.
nothing memorable. Then, in I think grade 11, we had dress up in high school and I dressed up as a Playboy bunny.
Of course you did.
So I had a emerald green one piece bathing suit that was like a strapless
Oh boy.
and a little cotton tail and black nylons and ears. And yeah, I think I don't know where my mom was when I did that, but yeah, I walked around school all day and
Oh, that's great. You felt like $1 million.
I don't know. I think I
Yeah.
was pretty self-conscious.
That's funny.
I thought I
That's
was proud of
funny.
myself, but then looking back, and I actually found a picture of that in the summertime. I was like, oh, I can't believe I did that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember my daughter, now here she is with two kids getting them ready for Halloween. But I remember she couldn't make up her mind what she wanted to be. And we'd go out and we'd costume hunt and we'd finally find one. And then she'd wear it to school. And then the next day she wanted to be something else. And so we would honestly, we'd go to a thrift store or something. I'm like, nope, only one costume. We said one costume. And then we'd make something and she'd do up her face with makeup. And like she was really good at that then, you
Even
know?
then she was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just doing the eyes, like the scary eyes and
Yeah.
the teeth on her face. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. It's
And
fun.
yeah, you take her around. And now what but with your grandkids now, what do they what do they dress up as? Do you know what they are this year yet?
Oh yes. Oh yes. The
Oh, okay.
little Rowan. Oh yes. She's going to be Stitch, that Lolo and Lola and Stitch. Uh,
Yes.
Lilo and
Yeah,
Stitch.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We'll stand corrected.
Milo and Stitch.
Milo and Stitch. And yeah, one of those. I know we got Stitch right. She's going to be Stitch. So she's got the
Uh-huh.
blue costume, which is great because it's like a little pair of pajamas that she pulls
Yeah,
on. It's cuddly and warm.
yeah.
And yeah, who knows? Oliver might be a rap singer, a ninja, something from, Fortnite. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
always fun what he comes up with. So yeah.
Do you know Colleen and we're in Asheville with Alea, and Asheville is like a smaller town in the Blue Ridge Mountains, really kind of hippie. She lives in a really cool old house neighborhoods. All these houses are from like the 20s, 30s, 40s. Like really, it's some turn of the century houses. Hers isn't, but beautiful. So great Halloween neighborhood sort of thing.
Mhm.
And everybody knows each other. Do you know how many people she gets? Guess how many people they get for Halloween?
How many?
2,000.
What?
2,000.
What? And I thought 80 was a lot.
Yeah, I can't even.
Wow.
I've heard of some of the neighborhoods like in Nashville where they'll bring kids out to a neighborhood that's all done up. And I think that's when they get, so Alea must live in one of those neighborhoods. But now that her girls are all gone though, to college and working and stuff, I think they're going to darken the house this year and go to the neighbors and just have a glass of wine across the street. Yeah. Just,
Probably,
yeah. Cause she said she does like, interacting with the kids and stuff, which is what you mentioned. That's what I like too. And unfortunately, I've never lived at a place that has more than like 10 kids coming. Like this is like the perfect Halloween house. Our house, like Ivy House, looks like an old haunted house. Now we don't have it done up, but I would have a pumpkin some years and I'd have some lights and stuff. Maximum 6, 7, 8 kids. So I just would end up giving them like a pound of candy each because I would have got the big Costco.
I know. I actually saw this. This was really cool for anyone out there wanting like ideas, because now people have big Halloween parties and they have gatherings and get-togethers, and really like adults are having big Halloween costume parties.
Huge.
They make
huge,
big deal house parties, all costume themed, and I saw this really cool. I haven't even shared this with you yet, but it was a piece of like cheese, the soft cheese, and it was the face was the shape of the Scream, the Scream face. That big one with the big mouth wide open.
Yeah.
So in the mouth and in the 2 eyes were blackberries.
That's awesome.
Fruit was filled, and then black
cream
all
cheese
around the head.
Yeah.
So it looked like a big cloak. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the cream cheese and then crackers on the outside.
That's awesome. So where was this, or did you see a picture of it?
I just happened to see it. I in an article, and I went, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like that is so easy to do.
Yes.
Fun for kids, right? And another thing was I saw a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern, and so it was all little baby carrots, right? Shaped like a jack-o'-lantern. And then olives for the eye.
That'd be a lot of carving.
No, lay them on a plate. It's on a plate.
So you lay baby carrots on a plate
in the shape of a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
And then you got the eyes that are whatever you want to put as the eyes, olives. They had olives there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The teeth were like cut up green peppers. And then the stalk was a celery stick.
Yeah.
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 And so again, you could have all the dips around it.
I wouldn't want to mess it up though.
I know.
But you get hungry enough after a while, I guess.
Yeah. It was very cool.
That's cool. I mean, some people are not into things like that at all. I feel like as we get older, though, we have more time for things like that. Like I tell the young people that come and see me at Ivy House all the time, because I do my fermenting and I do the gardening, and I'll spend a couple hours in the kitchen. I'll turn on like a Netflix show or something, and I'll spend a couple hours in the kitchen doing this stuff, and I love it. But when you're raising kids and stuff, you don't have time for that. Like I can't, and that's the time when mothers usually get creative for their kids. They're like, I remember my sister, all the fancy cakes she did for the kids, spent so much time. And my mom did the same thing too,
Yeah.
But as we get older, we can do those kind of fun things. And even if you think you're not a creative person, like you and I are pretty darn creative, but I'm not a crafty person. My mom and my sister are very crafty. Like I'm like more creative with things, but crafty, like detailed things is not but with what you're talking about, which I would consider a little bit detailed, you just look at the photo and you copy at the photo. Now, I understand that a lot of these things, like, aren't as easy as they look once you get in to it, but that could be the fun of it too, especially when you do it with a couple of friends, or something like that, or your sisters, or,
Yeah. It's just fun things to do. It's just being creative with things, right? Just it's just making it like, what do we do for Halloween? Like I'm not a big Halloween person, so that's why, because we're talking about is that time of year. Like it's not, I was never into scary, and I don't like being frightened. I don't like scary movies, right?
Yeah.
I remember years ago, we went to a haunted house and I hated it. And I got caught in the maze. And honest to God, like I thought I was going to have a panic attack if someone didn't open one of the trap doors that got you out. I guess someone had a panic attack. So they were like, "You better put escape door here somewhere." Because I'm like, I don't like this. I really don't like, and flashing lights and other people, they love it, right?
Yeah.
They just like it. They get excited by, "Ooh, there's a scary thing and there's a chainsaw coming at me," and I'm like, "No, I'll pass. No, not for me." But
I
can
mean,
listen to the music.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like so whether you're the kind of person that loves it or you're kind of person that doesn't like it, like I there's some people that like as soon as the holiday season starts, like, oh, it's so commercial and blah blah blah. It's like, but hold on, just soften a little bit. Yes, we know it's commercial. There is a lot of things that are commercial, but it's also can be a time just it's almost like a marking of time. That's the way I look at seasons and different holidays. Like if I look back on my iPhotos, that's kind of where I like every Christmas, my family, I'm there. Every springtime, I'm at Well-Being doing a retreat. And usually in October, in Eddi's birthday, she is here or we're together somehow. And this is the
It's
first year in
true.
probably 5 or 6 years we're not together on your birthday.
I know.
So,
And it's
just different. So I feel
soon.
like that's what, Halloween can do too. It like marks the passage of time and makes it special. So here's my little spiritual snippet is that nothing is special unless we make it special. Like even whether it's Halloween or your birthday, it can go by and you don't pay any attention to it. So we are the ones making anything and everything special. It's totally up
Mhm.
to us. And
Yeah.
so if you want to make it special for somebody or for, take extra time for a dip or go to a party with costumes, whatever it is that you think you want to do this year, it can be, it's almost like rituals and holidays and birthdays and weddings and different things, celebrations are places to trap our attention. And,
Mhm.
because a week can go by and if there's nobody's birthday, like weeks can go by and there'll be no special thing. And then time has gone by and there's nothing you really remember. And it helps to be, mindful. And that's what mindfulness is all about is rituals and holidays and celebrations
Mhm.
are a natural way for us to be mindful. And
Yes.
hopefully we can do that in our lives every single day, but you can start by doing it for Halloween and being mindful around Halloween. And that's how we remember things is when we're actually fully present in it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a great time for connection. People plan gatherings and they know
Mhm.
the kids are going to get together or the adults are going to get together and do something fun or make something. So they plan on it. They know it's that time of year. The fall is happening. The leaves are falling. Like it can be, a really good time to just kind of, yeah, like totally with awareness and mindfulness, but just feeling it also as a special time. It's preparation for the winter. It can be clearing and cleansing and also an awareness around we don't have to eat all that sugar that's there. That's always there. It just now is starting to pile up in corners in the kids' rooms. And it's a good time to be able to teach ourselves and the kids about sharing. There might be
Hmm.
things they don't like and they can trade or, I used to buy some of the candy from my daughter. She would get so much when she was trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honey, if you eat all that stuff, like it makes your belly sick. And well, she had to find it out for herself, right? Like anything, we all have to. The burners are hot on the stove. Don't put your hand on the
Yeah.
stove.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know till you do. And she was like, yeah, I don't like these ones and these ones. So, sometimes she would make $5 or $10 and then I would just donate the candy.
Leave it on your desk or so. I guess you wouldn't do that
No,
at work.
not at my, I would
Yeah, you
just
just
bring
give
it
it.
to a
Yeah.
center or to, the school or the teachers and let them all share it because,
Yeah.
it's a lot, right? It's a lot. And it's a good teaching moment too. Yeah.
I remember last year on Instagram, Jewel, I follow Jewel, the singer Jewel on
Mhm.
Instagram, what she does with her son. He's probably now just not is too old now for Halloween, but last year, I think he was 13 last year, something like that. And she would take a like 3/4 of the candy, let him have a quarter of it, and then she'd trade it off with a gift, like with a toy of some kind that he wanted. And
Yeah.
so she'd take the candy and do like you did, give it away somewhere, and then he would get the gift,
Yeah.
which I thought was a great idea too.
It's a great idea. Whether you want to buy the candy back, I mean, they just worked, they just hiked 2, 3 hours collecting candy, right? They're not going to give it up easy.
Yeah.
There's a price on it. And
Yeah.
and some of it's great, but again, It's a lot of sugar. And it's
Yeah.
interesting too. Like, this is the time of year we also, I don't want to suck the fun out of it, but we get into Halloween. This is where the candy comes out. Then we get into the holiday time, right? Into the
Desserts.
Christmas and into the, so we got to watch that amount of sugar because we don't want to catch colds and fetal viruses and bugs and runny noses and sniffles and belly aches, right? So we
Yeah.
just got to kind of, we don't have to
Moderation.
not give it to them. Yeah. It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's moderation and
Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
awareness again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And bacon a healthy treat. There's a lot of things you can make with stevia and monk fruit, which are great sweeteners that are natural. Some people don't
Hmm.
like one or the other, but usually, but there's many people that do. Stevia is actually a plant. So one of my
Hmm.
friends says she doesn't like stevia, and there is like an aftertaste that some people don't like, and they, for some reason, they don't like it, and so I feel like they thought it was like not natural. And I kept saying it was a plant. And then I showed her in my garden, this is stevia. And she was all surprised. I'm like, here, take the leaf. And it's like it tastes like a teaspoon of sugar. And
Does,
so
yeah.
it's natural. Now, the way they process it, stevia is green. And if you put the green stevia leaf in your tea, it does taste a little green. And so they do process it. It
Yeah.
does, turn liquid or white. And so that might bother some people too. The less processing in our food, the better. But
Hmm.
anyway, it's better than, I do have a huge sweet tooth, but my body cannot tolerate sugar anymore. Like very, very few, little of it. Like once in a while,
Hmm.
I'll treat myself with like a dessert designs, the cakes that we love, the caramel cake that I love, but I'll make sure I have a big salad first. I'll never have it on an empty stomach because I'll be jittery for hours and crash. Like I just
Yeah.
know that about me now.
Yeah.
And so you just, but I do it. It's just a special treat. But I make desserts out with stevia and monk fruit, or I'll buy. There's a place called a Choc Zero. I think you had some of the treats when you were here before when I was
Hmm.
on keto, and it's mostly keto sweets, and they don't use alcohol sugars at all. They only
Yep.
use monk fruit and
Stevia,
stevia. And then there's one other thing that's not a sugar. I think it's erythritol. That's not.
erythritol. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good one. You okay? That's Dr.
Hmm.
Eddi.
Yep.
Okay. And so anyway, they just use that, and their chocolates and their caramels and their is so good. So Choc
And
Zero.
and even during the holidays, like we can add food like vegetables and sweet potatoes and black beans to a batch of brownies. Like really, there's a
Yes.
great brownie recipe, 4 ingredients, and it uses sweet potatoes, cocoa powder, um, almond butter, and then you can use your little sweet. So you can use a little bit of monk fruit, or some people are good with maple syrup, just the really good stuff. And you're only using like even less than a third of a cup, right? But it's so much better than using the milk chocolate. And it tastes like chocolate brownies. They're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And they don't spike your blood sugar like
Yeah.
a lot of the foods. So sometimes you can trade some candy for, with cookies that are made healthy, or, with the kids, which is, or even with adults, like with the
Yeah.
grandkids mostly. But, this spirited discussion is about haunting and Halloweening through the ages. So that's how we start getting these little tricks of the trade, little tips as we get older, because we've lived through all those Halloweeny experiences,
We
right?
have. And
So,
the shows are really good. Some of the Halloween shows, like I enjoy that. Some of the Halloween shows that are out there. The witches ones with
oh, the Witches of
Sandra.
Eastwick.
Oh, that one's really good too,
Yep.
with Cher and
Uh,
Sarah Sarandon
Beth Midler.
and Bette
Was
Midler. Is there one more? I think that's and Jack Nicholson. That's a
that's
really good
yeah,
one. But I like the
that's a
one with
good one.
Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, and who's the third? The three sisters.
Oh yeah, that's Mystic
Young.
Pizza.
Nope, that's not
No,
Mystic Pizza. That
that's
was with
another one.
Julia Roberts. It's not a
That's
Halloween movie.
another really good one.
Such a good movie. It's Julia Roberts' very, very first movie ever
Oh,
called
wow.
Mystic
Didn't know
Pizza.
that.
Yeah, her very first
Oh,
movie. She's
wow.
like 18 in it or something like that. She's adorable in it. And Vincent D'Onofrio is in it too. That was one
Oh,
of his
wow.
first movies too. So no, you know the one where they're sisters. They're three sisters. They're because in Witches of Eastwick they're not sisters. They're just best friends. They're but
Yes,
in the three, the one with Nicole
I
Kidman and
do.
Sandra Bullock and
I
oh, who's the
do.
third? And I saw a rumor that there's going to be a number two. Anyways,
Ooh,
That's kind of fun too. Do you
yeah.
know the history of Halloween?
Well, it goes way, way back. It's the Celtics are involved, the Irish and the Europeans. Do you?
No.
It goes way back. It goes way back to like religion and scaring people and just yeah. I didn't want to dig into the scary bits of it because
Mhm.
it all goes back to,
Mhm.
the dinosaurs. No, I'm kidding.
A little after the dinosaurs.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. They're scary too.
Yeah, but it's interesting
But
how
it's
we have
it's
that in our
old.
culture. It's old, and it's the shadow side too of people. Like you have there's yin and yang, dark and light. Halloween is sort of more the spooky, dark, shadowy side of things. And my what I focus on is like, you have to have the darkness, the contrast in order to see the light. And everybody has everything in them. We all have all of it in us. We all have all the different flavors of the emotions and the darkness and the light and the good and the bad, however you want to say it. We have all those flavors in us, and some of them are more accentuated, some of them more tame. Some of us have faced our shadow, some of us are still discovering our shadow. And that can be really interesting work too. That was something that I actually, and it came up a little bit with Alea last weekend too. I realized when I was talking to her that I had said like 3 times, like that I said I didn't argue with my husband when we got divorced, and there was something else like I just don't really do conflict, and not that I don't do conflict because I help people like I do now, but when I
Mhm.
was younger, I think I avoided that a lot. My mom is very upbeat person, and she's awesome on one hand that she's never been angry at anybody in her life, but also it's hard. She doesn't go super deep at the same time. And so I've learned to do that, I feel like a little bit more, but it's something that I've had to work at to be okay and not, I not call it conflict, but call it communication, you know,
Mhm.
and just to
Yeah.
embrace the shadow side. I think it's an important part of our
Yeah.
journey. So you can look at Halloween like that too.
Yeah. There's lots of ways of looking at it. You can make it fun or you can be scared to death.
Yeah, and if you're home alone, you can make popcorn and watch a scary movie if you want. Or a Halloween
Absolutely.
funny movie or a funny one too. There definitely some
Yeah.
funny ones that are kids ones that are not scary. If you don't like Eddie, you're like Eddie and I, and you do not like scary movies.
Yeah.
So you can treat yourself too, because I'm just thinking of a few people off the top of my head that listen to the podcast that are single and may not be the kind to go out for Halloween. Or maybe not even have kids over or in a neighborhood, but you can make it special by watching a Halloween movie, and that you're
Mhm.
marking the passage of time. Like you'll remember that 6 months later. Oh, I remember what I did Halloween night. I made myself some popcorn, or I made myself a pumpkin muffin, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Brought
I'm
out
excited.
my pumpkin spices and made a nice
Yeah.
chai latte with coconut milk and pumpkin spice and cardamom and yeah, like but made the little fruit tray. You made it special. Like you can start your own beautiful Halloween,
Rituals. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
celebration. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, that was a
Mm-hmm.
little fun.
That
Of
was good. Just out of, but we had to throw some spiritual things in there too, and some
course,
healthy recipes.
it's who
But
we are.
it is who we are. Yes, I do have people in my life commenting on that with me. I had 2 people. My sister-in-law was one of them in the past couple of months. I would make a comment about something, that she said. She's like, "You just can't help yourself, can you?" And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Like doing life coaching." I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm like doing it. I'm like, I don't, I want to just have a conversation, but it's
Yeah.
really just the way that I think.
Yeah,
It's
I'm the same. I'm the same
yes,
though.
you
I take
are.
every opportunity to go, oh, let's do this with a plate. Like let's do like pumpkins and do that with that and do that with, I'm just yeah, because our brains are that's our wheelhouse. So we're gonna
But
jump
we
into
also
that.
know how to have fun. Like, don't get
Oh
us
my
wrong.
gosh.
We
Oh
do
yeah.
know how to have
We
fun.
totally know how to. Okay. Well, if you were going to dress up for Halloween, what costume would you put on
Now,
today? Yeah. You had to
oh,
look in your closet and pull out something. Or
well,
maybe,
I did. I got invited to a very famous person's Halloween party 3 or 4 years ago. You remember that? Maybe 4 years ago. Actually, I said it
yes,
was Kelly Clarkson's. I can say
yes,
that now.
I
And
remember.
And so it was a costume. She wanted everybody dressing up, and it was all the people she works like with her accountants and stuff, and then also her personal assistants, and then a few like Reba McEntire was there, and not Kelsey Grammer, that's actor. Kelsey Ballerina was there.
Oh, the
And
singer.
the Dunn, Brooks and Dunn, I think something like that. But everybody's dressed up, so you couldn't tell. And that was so cool, is
Cool.
that here there was these famous people, and yet you didn't know if you were talking to a famous person or one of the staff kind of thing, right? It was really
Mhm.
fun. So there's a lot of people had masks. So Kelly had this, this really wild, beautiful mask on. And Satya was Dracula. And I
Yeah.
was like the female, like what is it from the Addams family, the wife from the Addams
Oh,
family with the
Morticia.
Morticia. I was Morticia. Is that the one? Yeah. And so I had the long wig on and the flowing cape and stuff. So I actually do still have the cape in my
That
closet. I had
that
ordered it
is
on
too
Amazon.
that is so funny because I was Morticia and my partner at the time was Gomez and my daughter was Wednesday and we had it with the long hair and I had such a tight costume. I found the perfect dress at this thrift store in Nashville and it was so tight every time I would breathe out my ribs hurt like it was pinching me so tight and I had to walk those little mini steps that she'd
Yes.
take
Yes.
so and it was so amazing like people were taking pictures and it was fun because you become those characters
Yeah.
right like you kind of that's kind of fun about Halloween like your kind of self kind of falls away it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah
You get to be
yeah
somebody else.
yeah it's
Do you
fun.
have a picture of that still? Because if you can send it to me and I'll post it on our
I
video.
will try and dig that up.
Yeah.
I might still have it tucked away. I will. Yeah,
Because that would be
that's
amazing.
funny.
Because Alexito as Wednesday is so
She was
perfect.
Wednesday. Yeah, I gotta dig that up. Okay,
Okay.
I'll do
And so
my best.
if you ever watch our YouTube videos, if Eddie was able to dig it up, I'll put it right here now. I'll cut it in. If it's not here, then you know that
That would be
she
funny.
wasn't
You
able
get
to
your
find it.
Morticia. You get your Morticia outfit, and I'll get
I
mine, and
actually
we'll.
do have a couple of photos of it, of Satya and I both, and him and Dracula. He was really good too.
I
Yeah,
will make
do
a
have.
note.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Oh, and we had Uncle Fester.
Yeah. Who was Uncle? Oh, you didn't have cousin It. You had
Well, Shannon.
Fester.
No, we had Zach, Shannon, and Brett's son
Yeah.
was it. Oh my
So
gosh!
cousin
Like
It.
this is a long time ago.
It is a
like
long time. Like Alexito was
25
probably
years
4 or
ago.
5 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fun. It's fun.
Great.
See, that's what's fun about Halloween. You can look back, have a laugh.
That's
And
what I'm
we have
saying.
Tons of stories of costumes. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
Yeah,
fun,
so-
fun.
Happy Halloween to you, Eddie. Happy Halloween to everybody listening.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween, Ken. Till next time.